Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for being super patient. I've been having a lot of issues with editing software and such. CapCut's just not doing it for me, so I ended up finding a new one. I do apologize this video took some time to come out, but I hope you really enjoy.
Steamworks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode of Tobacco, Pipes, and More. Today we're going to be looking at some Steamworks from Cornell and Diehl. It is a small batch. I don't think it's available anymore. Maybe you can find somebody who's selling it online, but otherwise, as far as I've looked, I can't find it from any other major manufacturers or retailers, I should say. So, Steamworks is a very interesting tobacco. I actually really enjoy this one. I've been smoking it for a while. I got this one back in around April of 2024, so this year. And the components are old belt red Virginias, vintage heirloom Orientals from 2005, and St. James Parish Perique. And sorry, the old belt red Virginias are from 2019. 17.72% sugar. And that's coming straight from the label. So it says here that Cornell and Diehl's small batch blends are handcrafted in small quantities by their expert blenders right there in South Carolina. It says propelled by top-tier Old Belt Red Virginias, enhanced by two distinct steaming processes. This innovative small batch blend explores the deep, natural sweetness of flue-cured leaf alongside genuine St. James Perique and rare 2005 Black Sea, Soakum, and other vintage Oriental grades. A whole new world of flavor awaits discovery. I really like this. I like the art they got going on. It's like a little steampunky blimp type of thing, and the label looks really nice. I think it was pretty well thought out. You know, see, it tells you on the side there, small batch. But let's get into the nitty-gritty of this tobacco. So, I was watching a review that was done by Cornell and Diehl a little while back about this tobacco. And what they said is that you should smoke it wet. I found that not to be so much the case. I got a lot of gurgling and blowback from excess liquid. I found that drying it out is still, in my personal opinion, is still the better way of smoking it. So, with that said, let's go ahead and light it up. There we go. Fire. Where got my tamper? There you are. Okay. Alright, so I have it packed at kind of like a mild density. It's not super tight, it's not super loose. That seems to work pretty well. Drink today. Got my big old water bottle with kombucha and water, so I kind of mixed the two. It turned out okay. All right, let's get our second light on. Yeah, it's kind of got like a light fruitiness, and it's not like super fruity. You know what I mean? I'm sure, obviously, all you guys smoking pipes, you know what I'm talking about. It's got that after hint, kind of a plummy, like aftertaste. I got a slight little bit of cocoa-iness through the retrohale. Kind of nice. Yeah. Those red Virginias, I think, is what comes through the most, at least right now. It's kind of grassy. A little bit floral. Now that the floraliness might be from the Orientals, but it's not like super flowery, you know, like perfumey, as some tobaccos are. It's just kind of got a hint of floweriness, just a small little bit, but it's not bad. It complements each other, which is really nice. And I think that steaming process that they do for Steamworks really kind of helps to bind those flavors together. Because not one of them is, in my personal view, are super distinct over the others, but it is a very nice, pleasant flavor. And the smell, the room note is really, really pleasant also. It's not overbearing or unpleasant to be around, in my personal opinion. There's a lot of fruitiness to this. It's kind of hard to pick out what kind of fruit I'm talking about. It's a bit plummy. Maybe a blueberry-esque. It's really nice. I wouldn't puff too hard or too fast because it does have a tendency to overheat, which is a bit of a downside to it. But other than that, as long as you're not puffing too hard or you don't have it packed too tight, it smokes pretty well, and it has a pretty nice white ash. Yeah, I like it. It's not a lot of. It's not really chocolatey. It's got a slight like a little hint of cocoa, but it's not super chocolatey in flavor. It's not earthy. It's not. It's more grassy. It's more. It has to do with those Virginias. And then you kind of get a little hint of that Perique at the end. So I think the Perique plays more of a background role in this particular tobacco. It is nice. It is there. You can get it, the flavor, but a lot of it's grassy, hay, citrusy, fruity, plummy notes that I'm getting from it, and it's smooth. It doesn't really burn. More actually, you know what? It's not more of a cocoa more than it is a coffee. It reminds me more of coffee than it does cocoa or cacao. Today I'm smoking out of my La Roca semi or demi Warden. It's a lovely pipe. I really like these. They're very lightweight. And I love the finish on it. It's really nice as well. It's really good. I really like it. There's not a whole lot more I can say about it. I mean, it's not like super delicious. You know, it's a good tobacco, but it's not something that I would write home about. Like, oh, it's super special, or you know. But would I smoke it often? Sure. It's got a good enough flavor, and in its own right, it's pretty unique in the way that they make it. Or made it, considering now it's a small batch blend, so it's probably not going to be really readily available for most people anymore. But yeah, those Virginias are really apparent. There's not really a whole lot of pepperiness or spiciness to it. It's very mellow, very mild, but again, I would dry it out a little bit before. I would still leave it a bit moist. I'll have that caveat. I would leave it a little bit moist, but I wouldn't leave it wet. Like when it comes from the tin, I wouldn't leave it like that. I would still dry it out, just so I've noticed I don't get a lot of that gurgliness after I let it dry out a little bit. Especially either smoking it from a long stem or possibly a straight stem. Then you should be okay. Or smoke it with a filter. That usually helps as well for that excess moisture. But a light's really easy. And it stays lit as long as you're not chit-chatting away and forgetting about your pipe. But it does stay lit pretty well. It produces a pretty good amount of smoke too. Surprisingly, not having any burley or Cavendish. Yeah, it's a lovely all-around smoke. Probably something you could smoke every day if you wanted to. I personally wouldn't. It's not my favorite tobacco, but again, it is good in its own way. And it's special in its own way in the way that it's made and the components that are used. But it personally, is it something to write home about? No, not really. Would I suggest you try it? Absolutely. It is very nice, especially if you enjoy Virginias and Orientals. I personally like I said in my last video, I've been gaining more popularity with Virginias and Periques. Thanks to my Sherlock Holmes series pipe, I've been doing a lot of that Peterson Deluxe Navy Rolls. I really like that tobacco in that particular pipe. For whatever reason, it smokes it really well. It maintains the flavor. And so that works out really well. I don't think that you would need to give a specific pipe for this. I don't think the flavor is that strong. But, I mean, you never know. If you smoke enough of it in one pipe, maybe it'll ghost it, but... It has a very lovely fruity note. It is difficult to kind of pin down what it is, but it like I said, it's kind of hay-like. It's citrusy, a little bit of plumminess. You know, it's not sour. It doesn't have that soury, ketchupy bite like the Dark Fire Kentucky has, but it's good. If you haven't tried it, there's not a lot more I could say about it, so I'm going to draw this video to a close. It's a bit of a short review, but if you haven't tried it, if you do have some, or you know somebody who wants some and you've got some, share a little bit. yeah, I mean, it's a good tobacco. Not my favorite, but it is good. I really enjoy it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to draw this video to a close. It was wonderful seeing you all again, and drop me a like and subscribe if you enjoy my content and the channel. It really helps me out, and it tells the algorithm of YouTube to spread the content or other pipe tobacco content to other people who are very interested. So with that, I bid you all a fond farewell and adieu, and I'll see you guys in the next one.